This is the 2019 examcraft incomplete type B. So it's probably my first time doing this as well. So just bear with me if there's a few mistakes along the way. I might throw in a few things. Just the thing with the type Bs we have to be aware of um, is that we don't work out the purchases and sales. Okay, we leave them till last. They're going to be our final answers. Um, as a result, they're a little bit quicker along the workings because you obviously have to work back at the end. But um, a couple of things, just you're looking out for depreciations. Um, there doesn't appear to be any. Um, there is a bad debt provision. Other is depreciation on equipment. So there's two things to look for, which we hadn't seen before. Certainly provision for bad debts. I don't remember seeing that before. And then this one here, Reid also remembered at the end of December he put in an order to purchase goods from a supplier from 4,000. Though the goods had not arrived, the invoice had been received, no record had been made. So that's our goods in transit working, which is stock, purchases, and creditors. Now, as we said, stock, our purchases is our final answer. So we're just going to change stock and creditors at the end. So up until that point, stock was 35,600. Goods in transit, you own the goods, but they haven't arrived. So there's another 4,000 there. So our stock is going to be 39,600. And our creditors at the bottom of the question was 13,1. And then there's another 4,000. So that's 17,1. So you nearly just change those on your answers. So or on your question sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my capital. So finance by capital on the first of the first. That's the amount you paid. You bought the business first, so 350,000. So just give myself a little room there. Sorry, halfway down there. There should be capital and reserves. And I'm going to put, as I said, my capital on the first of the first. Which is 350. And then I'm going to put in my stuff from the bottom here, including my changes. So I've got my closing stock, which I've now said is 39.6. I've got my debtors 16.5. That's an asset too. Electricity bill due is a liability. So that is 330. Trade creditors, that's my changed figure, 17.1. Just suggest looking out for that working before you start doing the question. Just have a read of it and make sure it's not there. Caught me out in one of the other questions. And he estimates that the total value of premises was 400,000. So premises up here, cost, depreciation, and value. So that's going to be 400,000. Now the way it's saying that, it implies that there's probably depreciation. You know that premises has changed in value. So just be aware of that might be something that comes along as well. So once you've those it, I'd suggest going back to the top, and we'll do our working. So on the first of the first, P Reid lodged 350, which we've dealt with, and on the same day purchased the business for 300,000. So the goodwill, we're going to compare what he purchased the business for, which is 300,000, versus its value. So its value is its assets minus its liabilities. So we've got the premises 235. So that's an asset. Stock is 12,000. That's an asset. Debtors 11.9. That's an asset. Light and heat due is a liability, so minus 510. Trade creditor is a liability, so minus 75. Uh, rates prepaid is an asset. 550. Stock of oil is an asset. 460. Stock of stationery, the same. And investments is an asset. So there's quite a lot in these, in this one. So that's 272 150, and we're going to take that away from our 300,000 to get the value of our goodwill. So our goodwill is 27,850, and we're going to put that in. So the one to be aware of in that is that we're using the amount we paid for the business, 300,000, not the amount we lodged in the account. Okay. Now once we've those in, let's start at the top and work our way down. So we've got, first one is premises uh, of 235. Now, I know it's not 235 because it's got a value of 400,000. So we have to go down and see what else happened premises. So he started off with 235. Then he bought a premises costing 180. So see here, he borrowed 250. Part of which was used to buy a premises costing 180. So premises is 235 plus 180. Now that's 415, which means there must have been 15,000 depreciation. It's really important to remember depreciation is an expense. So that's a sort of a sneaky enough way of asking that. So that's premises in. Opening stock 12,000, that just goes in. But also going to put in my closing stock while I'm here, 39.6. So that's done. Now debtors you don't have to do anything with in the incomplete B's. So debtors in the other questions are used to work out sales, but we're going to work out sales later, so we don't do anything with them. So light and heat due is our next one. So we've got our working on light and heat. So take your light and heat figure always from the payments question. So we made the following payments, light and heat 6.8. Now what has he got at the top? There's light and heat due. So due at the start of the year means it's due at last year. So we're going to take that away. That's sort of new enough for these. It's not new for service firms or anything. There's a stock of heating oil at the start of the year. So we add opening stocks on the first of the first. So we're going to add that in. We can go down to the bottom then and check if there's anything with light and heat. There's an electricity bill due of 360. So we add on dues at the end of the year, so they are to do with this year. And that'll give you your light and heat. So that should be, let's see what it comes out at, 7110. Sorry, it's 330. So 7080, and there's nearly always drawings on light and heat, so we'll have a look. 25% is drawings. So we find 25% of that, 1770, and that becomes our drawings. So we'll add those together and we take the 1770 away, we get 5330. So that's our light and heat there as an expense. Now I want to open up my drawings working immediately. So I'm going to do it over here. So we've light and heat of 1770. And every time we come across every time we come across drawings, we're going to put them in immediately. So that's our 5330 in. So that's our light and heat done. Um, Trade creditors. So again, that's trade creditors will be used to work out purchases in incomplete A's. Incomplete B's, you don't do anything with them because purchases is our very last number we're going to come across. So next one is rates prepaid. So if we look at our rates, uh, we start off, always go down and see what we're paying out on rates in the first place. Um, so we made the following payments that need interest, wages, equipment. Rates for 12 months is 3,000. So that's for 12 months. If he's made a prepayment at the start of the year, that really means his rates go from April to April. So there's a prepayment every year. So his rates are, they're 4 months, sorry, which will be 550. So we're going to add that on. That's 4 months. So if we've rates prepaid at 4 months at the start of the year, we're going to have prepayment at the end of the year as well. So we're going to have 4 months as well. So that's going to be 4/12 of the 3,000, which is 1,000. So when we do that sum, we get 2,550. Now rates should not have drawings. Rates really can't have drawings. They're complete business expense, but just check to be on the safe side. So there's nothing there. So rates can go in as 2,550, and we move on. Stock of heating oil we've done. So the next one is stationery. So let's see what he spent on stationery during the year. So don't see anything on stationery there. So we might tie stationery in with general expenses. So we'll go wages and general expenses. So wages and general expenses are 23.2. We're going to add the stationery on the first of the first, the stock stationery of 250. I know there's no stock at the end of the year stationery. Just check if there's any wages due anywhere. There's not. No, there's no drawings in the wages. No, there's not. So that'll be 23,450 for our wages, which is an expense. So normally that would be wages due or wages prepaid. But the stationery is a stock of stationery is sort of the same thing. Um, it's something we're using this year. You just have to find something to tie it in with. Now we've got our next one is our investments, 3% investments. Now I'm going to skip a couple of lines of these. So 3% investments, they'll be an asset. So they're 20,000. Now, anytime we've got investments, we're going to have investment income. So that'll be 3% of 20,000, which would be 600. And anytime we've got investment income, we will have investment income due. And the investment income due will be 600 minus whatever we've lodged. So he's lodged 400 of it here. See, he received investment income of 400. So we're going to take that 400 away. That'll give us our investment income due of 200. Okay. So that's the investments done. So we can move on. During the year, Reid did not keep a full set of books, but estimates that gross profit was 20% of sales. We'll use that later. And was able to supply the following information. He took goods from stock 480. So that's drawings. That's per month. So 480 by 12. which is 5760, and issued a check each week for 105. So that's bank drawings. So 105 by 52. Now, because it's bank, I'd suggest they're probably going to ask us to work out how much is in the bank account at the end. They never gave us a bank figure. So normally in the older incomplete Bs, you didn't have to work out bank. This one, it looks like you do. Anyway, that's that done. On the 1st of the 7th, he borrowed 250,000. So my bank at the or my loan, I'm going to say is 250,000 for the time being, which was used to purchase an adjoining premises costing 180. I've dealt with the premises. He's repaying it in 20 annual installments of 12,500. Uh, the first installment will become due and payable on the 30th of the 6th. So 12,500 is a loan installment due. So within 1 year, 12,500 has to be paid. After 1 year, the remainder of it is going to have to be paid. So it's all going to have to be paid. It's just about splitting up when it's paid. So that is 237,500. So 12,500, 237,500. It all adds up to 250,000 anyway. So that's the loan. So next job is the loan interest. So he's borrowed the money at 8.5% per annum. So it's 8.5% of 250,000. And he got the loan on the 1st of the 7th. So he has it for 6 months. So that's 10,625. He has paid, during the year, he paid 3,500. So he's still due to pay 7,125. So the loan interest due is 7,125. Okay, so that's our liability. Now, we go down and see if any of the loan is for the private section or any of the interest is for the private section. Normally it would be. So let's have a look. Down in the drawings, Reid estimated that 25% of the light and heat equipment as well as 20% of the interest payable. So 20% of this is drawings. So I'll just do it down here. So it's 10,625. And then we have to take away the drawings, which is 20%. So that's 2,125. And that's 12,750 then is the expense. So into my drawings, I'll put the 2,125. And then 12,750 is my expense. Okay, so that's the loan done. During the year, he had a small lot of win of 5,000, so that's capital introduced. He's giving that to the business. Doesn't matter where he got the money from, as long as it's from outside his business, it's capital introduced. We've done the investment income. He also made the following payments from the business: light and heat 6.8. So we've done the light and heat. Interest we've done. Wages we've done. Now equipment is 25,000. I know there's a couple of things in the equipment. Um, I know that there's that some of the equipment, 25% of the equipment used is for the private section of the business. So while he paid, what is it for equipment? He paid 25,000 for equipment. Not all of it is, some of it's for his own use. So the equipment will be Oh, where am I? 25,000 and drawings will be, sorry, I've lost it, 25% of 25,000. So I'll just do it as working here. Equipment is 25,000. Drawings is 25%. Which is 6250. So it'll be 18,750. So, sorry. So 18,750. Now the 6250 needs to go in to our drawings working. So 6250 there. So 18,750 into our equipment. Now I know because I read at the start there's depreciation on the equipment. So it's 10%. So it's 10%, which is 1875. It's always the after drawings element. So the 1875 is also an expense. So just be aware that if there's drawings and there's depreciation, it's the depreciation on the after drawings figure we use. Now I've also just seen that I need to cut this out here and bring it down because there is like there is going to be a bad debt provision, so just be aware of that. Anyway, so that's my equipment. My rates for 12 months I've done. College fees for staff education 4,000. Just there's often drawings in that. So there's not there. So we put the college fees in 4,000. I don't see anything else on the college fees, so we can safely assume that can go in. Next one then is fuel for the private car 2.8. Well, the fuel for the private car is definitely just drawings. So it's his own private car. So fuel, it just goes straight into drawings. Don't put it anywhere else. I wonder, could you? No, it's not included anywhere else. So we'll put the fuel in, and that's that done. Okay, so next one, done that. Reid decided to make a provision for bad debts for 5% of debtors. So bad debt provision, it's going to be 5% of the debtors. So the debtors is 16.5. So that's creation of a bad debt provision. So therefore, an increase in bad debt provision is going to be 825 here in our expenses. So anytime we make a bad debt provision, the full amount is an increase in the bad debt provision. So that's done. We've all these in, and we've that in. So we're finished the question. We just have to do our sums. So remember, you do your balance sheet first. So I'm going to add up my assets. I'll add up my fixed assets. And my total fixed assets then are my goodwill plus my tangible fixed assets plus my investments. So that's 464,725. My rates and all that, have I left out? So stock, debtors, investment income due. Just want to check that there wasn't rates prepaid. Let me just check on the rates there. So rates for 12 months, 3,000. So I've left out the rates prepaid from my working over here. So there's a prepayment for next year, 1,000. That should have gone straight in. Now, the last thing, sorry, there's not there. I would always have bank. Now I've noticed there's no bank here, but it's given us all of the information to work out what the bank is, just like in the incomplete A's. So we're going to make our T account on bank, and it's going to be a fairly big one. So we'll just do those. So we've got our bank account. We're going to put in all of our bank lodgements. So the first bank lodgement is this figure for 350. Okay, and then the first bank payment is the payment for the business of 300,000. So on this side, we bought the business for 300,000. So then I can come down. All of my he borrowed 250, so the loan is 250, and he used the loan to buy a premises of 180. So that's my next one. So then I've got all my bank lodgements. Well, before that, during the year, he lodged 5,000, yeah, so his lotto win, and the investment interest of 400. And then he made all the payments on, he made the following payments from the business bank account: 6,8. He made interest of 3,5, wages of 23,2, equipment of 25, rates for 3,000, college fees for 4,000, and fuel 2,8. Now, he also, and I managed to skip by it here, he issued a check each week for 105. So his drawings of his bank drawings were 5,460. That's come out of his private bank account. Um, so when we add up the left hand side, he's got 605,400. So the balance will be 605,400 minus all of these. So 605,400 minus all his payments, and that'll give you his bank balance of 51,640. Now, you wouldn't have seen that ever before, but that's one of those ones. Remember, I was saying that they regularly bring in stuff now from other questions. Uh, that working comes from incomplete A's. There's no reason why it couldn't be in an incomplete B. So it's the same process. Put in every money he's lodged. Anytime he's lodged money into the account, it goes on the left. Anytime he's took paid money out of the account, it goes on the right. So those are the drawings. Okay. All right. So they're all your bank payments from 6,8 down to 2,8. So the 51,640 is an asset. And then we've got our debtors position there. So our current assets will add up to 108,115. Our current liabilities are 37055, and we're going to take them away from each other. Get 71,060, which is a positive. So we'll add that onto your fixed assets up above, and you get 464725. Now, from there, we need to work out what our net profit is. So what we do is we take we're going to put in our drawings a number here. Last thing I have to put in. Take care of these, because if you get them wrong, you'll never know, because it'll always balance. So 24,165 is our drawings. So now we know everything bar our net profit. So how do we work that out? So we go to our capital employed, and we say our capital employed is 464,725. Okay, so we need to find out the number that when you add 237,500 plus 350 plus 5 and take away the 24,165, we get 464,725. So to do that, we'll take the 464,725. We're going to add back on 24,165, and we're going to take away 5,000, 350, and the 237,500. And that's a net loss of 103. That doesn't seem right. a net loss of 103,610. We're going wrong there. 350. I'm just going to check the marking scheme of this, lads, if it's all right. Just bear with me here. Yeah, that's not right. So, anyway, so it's that, that, 103,610 is what it's saying. Okay, I've gone. Ah, there we go. That number is right. That number is not right. Sorry. It's that plus 71,060 is 535,785. So if it doesn't look right, it's probably not right. Anyway, so that gives us minus 32,550. Now that would put you off because it's a minus. It can be a minus. I've just checked the answer there. It is a minus. So if you get a minus, just go with it. I can't imagine in the leaving cert you get a minus. So that's our net profit. So what we do then is we come over, we bring our net profit over here, or in effect it's a net loss of 32,550. And we're going to work back up the way. So our expenses are 65,7,310. So what number minus 65,730 equals minus 32,500? So we're going to basically add them together. So, good. So 33,180 minus 65,730 equals minus 32,550. So then what number plus 600 is 33,180? So we'll do the opposite, take them away. So 33,180 minus 600 gives you 32,580. So 32,580 plus 600 is 33,180. And that's when this line becomes important. He says that profit is 20% of sales. So this number is 20% of sales. So sales is 32,580. Divide that by 20, multiply by 100. That's 162,900. Now the difference between those two numbers is your cost of sales. And because sales minus cost of sales is gross profit. So then it's opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock is cost of sales. So again, a bit like the capital employed, to find the purchases, you work backwards. So we take the 130, we're going to add on the 39,600, and we're going to take away the 12,000, and that gives you 157,920 as your purchases. Now, you then have to add back on the stock drawings onto that. So the stock drawings are 5760. So we're going to add on 5760 to that. So I'll just work out what it is first. 157,920. Add on the stock drawings of what I say it was 5760. Yeah. And you get 163,680. So in brackets we write 163,680 minus 5760. And that's how we finish it out. That was a particularly tough question. There's a load of stuff thrown in for the first time, but it's a good question to practice because you know that's the type of thing they're doing where they're bringing things in from other parts of the course. So what was new in that? The fact that you had to do a bank account. Obviously, you have to have a bank account if you're a business. So if there's no bank account mentioned at the bottom, that means you have to do your bank account to find it. The premises and the depreciation. So if it gives you a value and the cost and they don't match, well, the depreciation is the difference. And the drawings on equipment and depreciating it. Remember what I said? do your drawings first, then depreciate after. So I hope that was of some use to you. I'll do a couple more of these. I know I don't have too many of them up, so I'll get them up over the next couple of weeks.